Just have to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors, Yellow Dog Paddle, Mackin's Rippin' Lips Fishing Trips, NJFishing.com, and 8 Ball Sport Fishing. Also have to thank our supporters, Mike K's Guide Service, Psycho Jigs, Lip Glue, FC Fish Company, Nor'easter Hardcore Apparel, Toggy Time Jigs, the Mimmi Sick, and the Gambler. Eddie Mackin's Rippin' Lips Fishing Trips continuing to pound the striped bass on Lake Apparel. You still have a chance to get Eddie before he disappears into the woods to go hunting. If you're interested in getting that big hybrid striped bass on Lake Apparel, now is the chance. Call Eddie Mackin ASAP. NJFishing.com coming up on 28 years as the #1 resource in both freshwater and saltwater information in the state of New Jersey. Just head over to NJFishing.com and send an email to my man Jerry Zagorski and ask for a username and password. It'll give you access to the message boards, both freshwater and salt, dating back farther than you'll be able to read. Tons of information, NJFishing.com. Hello and welcome to episode number 115 of the NJ Multi-Species Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Santiago. As always, my partner, Chris Pereira.
I thought you'd sound more excited. You're going on vacation.
I am. I'm excited to get out of here, get this over with, and get out of here as fast as I can. No, I'm just kidding. So a pretty cool week of fishing. I'm trying to think back to everything we did to make sure I know I went wet wading with Chuck. I posted a video of that. That was just ridiculous. Then for 2 hours, we were just fishing while we were shivering. I was watching Chuck just freezing. The wind was just like eating us alive. We were soaked. It was so cold, but the fishing was so cool. Caught a ton of different fish. Chuck caught a really nice catfish. We got like 4 walleye. I caught a wild rainbow trout. I didn't land it. I got it to my feet, and it got off. But I was throwing the Ned rig. I was planning to throw the night crawlers like Chuck does, but I showed up with a Ned rig, and I just never took it off. Seemed to catch everything with it, and I made some videos, too, of how I was using that. So I have to post all that stuff, and I'll do it while I'm on vacation.
What's the video of using a Ned rig? It's like throw it out there, do nothing. Wait.
I mean, I don't use. That's not how. First of all, like I only use it in rivers. I don't use it in a lake. I think it's useless. Kevin said I'm wrong, but
you're wrong.
I am. Okay. Well, I only use it in rivers. I don't really bass fish in a lake ever with a lure anyway.
What'd you do with what do you do with it? You lift it every 20 seconds? Like, what do you do with it?
I mean, I like to lift it and then drop it in a new spot. And then I wait a few seconds, then I lift it, drop it again. And then eventually you go to lift it and it doesn't lift, like it's off the bottom because something picked it up and you set the hook. It's just cool.
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, you can't argue it doesn't work.
I can't believe it works. When you look at it in front of you sink and look at what it does, you would never believe it works. But it literally catches like every fish in the river. Every fish.
Yeah, I mean, you caught a pretty nice walleye on it. I mean, I've seen it catch all kinds of stuff.
I didn't get a catfish. Chuck got a couple catfish going through there with the night crawlers. A couple nice catfish. I couldn't get a catfish to hit that Ned rig. I'd imagine one would though. But yeah, I'm sold on those. Like I'm stocked up on them now.
You're just sold on them now. They've been around for.
I don't use. Yeah, I don't use like. I usually when I fish the river, I like blade baits, and I just love a jig head with a paddle tail. I never used Ned rigs. Fairly new, but yeah, pretty cool. What did you do? You've been fishing all over the place. You're going fishing again tonight.
No, I'm not going tonight.
Oh, you're not?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What is like your main target that you're going after for? Because aren't you like the leader already in catfish?
Oh, for the Mayhem contest?
Yeah, like why do you keep going with Dave so much? Are you just going fishing? Or are you looking to like better something on the board, a specific species?
I don't consider the flathead I caught like it's not big. It just happens to be the biggest one that anyone's turned in so far.
So you're basically fishing for a bigger flathead.
I'm just going fishing, honestly. I just want to go night fishing again. I mean, some of these spots on the river, it's one of those things that I can't really do safely from my own boat. I'm not really comfortable. Dave's got a nice jet boat, so it's capable of getting over all this shallow water and stuff. He knows the river like the back of his hand. So
he really does. It's funny. It's crazy how fast he goes in the dark too. Like it'll be pitch black and he's flying. It's like holy shit. It's awesome though.
I'm just going fishing. I mean, obviously, I'm always hoping for the biggest of any species. I got lucky last time, and one of the catfish was a big channel cat, and I got a nice flathead. I mean, nothing that I would scoff at, but I mean,
the channel cat's a huge bonus score. Like that's a beautiful 3 points for a species that was like looking pretty solid. So that was like a big time score. That fish. Big bonus fit.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And me and Chuck went out, looking for. Well, we're still trying to get the landlocked salmon. I mean, I don't know. It just seems to be a hit or miss during the summer fishing for them. But it was around this time of the year last year where Chuck got the giant one that. Not a state record, obviously, because we didn't weigh it, but Chuck's pretty good at estimating weight. He said it was a 10-pound fish, which would be
huge.
The record. It was over 28 inches long. I mean, whatever. We told the story. Whatever. So, this around here, so obviously it can happen. And that same day last year, I also caught a real nice one, like a 22 or 23 inch one. So we're out trying to get landlocked salmon. We didn't. So Chuck did upgrade his smallmouth bass though, somehow again. And then he refused to take another turn on the rods. So I caught a bunch of fish after that. None of them anywhere near that big, but Chuck upgraded his smallmouth bass first place position to 21 1/4 inches, I think, from 20 3/4. And it was a tough day. It was a tough day all around. And I've been hearing a lot of tough fishing reports from a lot of people. We tried lake trout jigging, and it was just probably as tough as I've ever seen it. And finally, towards the end of the day, I hooked one and he hooked one. I netted his. He watched mine swim away without netting it. But technically, I guess we caught it. I watched it next to the boat. But, I'm just busting my balls. It wasn't quite in reach yet. I just wanted to bust his balls. But yeah, it's I don't know. It was a tough fishing. It was tough fishing for a couple of days there. I'm not really sure why.
I went pike fishing. I took my wife pike fishing. Pretty much to like a guaranteed spot where I was just talking shit the whole ride there, where she was guaranteed to catch her first pike, and I got skunked for the first time ever in this spot. So yeah, there was some weird fishing, some weird weather too, with the giant temperature drop, and now it's like almost cool at night again. Next week's gonna get hot as hell again. So yeah, I don't know. Tonight's guest is Mark Mercer from Tackle World. We're going to talk about pretty much keeping and cooking your fish, something we never talk about on this podcast because we do a lot of catch and release. But we also do keep not a lot, but a decent portion of fish, especially from saltwater. We never really talked much about what we do with it. So Mark, who's has a background in being a chef and works for Tackle World, so he's perfect. After this episode, we are off for 2 weeks on vacation. When we come back, the podcast hopefully will be live, so you'll have a chance to watch this Monday night.
Well, I think there'll probably be one. I think there'll be one more episode.
There's one more regular
way, and then we'll try the live one.
Okay, and also,
I don't know. That's how the schedule is.
The last thing before we bring Mark in is the hats. The hats we're wearing. We kind of underestimated how many hats would be wanted, and they sold out within 10 minutes. We did order more hats, and they will be here within like 10 days. So we will have hats up on the website, and we will share the link. We're trying to get the hats to as many people as we can, and we are sorry for the delay now, but we will get them out there. I believe Mark is ready to come in. Deuce, you ready to bring Mark? Yellow Dog Paddle continues to beat up giant hybrid striped bass. Mike just knocked me off the skillful angler board with a fish over 26 inches. Also continues to troll beautiful trout on Round Valley with some catfish and other really cool bycatch in the mix. Also still offering the fishing lessons if you don't want to go fishing, but you want to see how that boat is set up and how to set your boat up just like his. He does that too. Also a frequent flyer pass, gives you a couple trips during a few different seasons. Go check out Yellow Dog Paddle for your next freshwater guided fishing trip. So our guest is ready to come in. He's a longtime personal fishing buddy of ours, works for Tackle World, has a background in culinary arts, has a bachelor's degree in it, actually. Welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Mark Mercer. And Mark, I was just telling Chris, we wanted to have you on because we talk a lot about catching fish on this podcast. We have never spoken about keeping and cooking fish on here before.
Interesting. I mean, like, I remember when I went ice fishing with you guys gave me all your fish because you didn't want them.
I don't know. I gave you all my fish?
No, when we went to Shawnee before Hollywood, like that contest back in the day, we had all those big perch, and none of you guys wanted them. And I was like, all right.
I must have been going away because I definitely would have taken some with me. I usually don't take as much as some people, but I usually take a couple yellow perch in the winter.
I constantly say I'm going to keep fish, and then I'm so like beaten down by the end of the trip, I don't want to do anything, and I'm not cleaning fish, and I just give them away. Same shit every time.
That's true. He's lazy as hell. I bet you he gave you all his fish, and I kept some of mine. But
saltwater boats though, like with a mate cleaning and bagging, like I'll take it. That's awesome.
See, he's lazy as hell. But so we had a different guest scheduled for tonight. Anyone that watches, Dan was supposed to be the guest. He had a situation he couldn't, and thankfully I texted Mark last minute. Thanks again, Mark, for being able to do this last minute. I literally just asked him today. And I just thought I was going to do this episode in the future anyway. I wanted to do it just like all about like keeping your catch. I know I've seen people do it a bunch of different ways, keeping it fresh, bleeding it, not bleeding it, all that stuff. How long you can keep it, this, that, and the other thing, and then cooking it. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff online recently. Even I think just the other day, what kind of triggered in my mind was like someone said, "Oh, Fluke is so bland. I don't even keep them. I'd rather keep bluefish."
Well, it's interesting. Like, so when you first texted me about this earlier, it made me think about like one thing that I saw on Joe Rogan one time. And basically, like Joe Rogan on the podcast, he said, like, you know why people love fishing so much? It's because once you catch that fish, it's your primal urge to feed your family. Like, that's like deep down within inside of you. It's kind of like hardwired in. Like, you caught this fish, now you can feed your family. You're contributing.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's the same thing with hunting. Obviously, it's just it's like this instinctual thing in your body where you you don't even think it's all subconscious, but yeah, I mean, it's 100% true. There's no arguing it.
And
but
whoever said that they
you definitely get a joy watching them eat it, especially hunting, fishing too.
Well,
I get.
Absolutely. I mean, but I butcher my own deer, except for the fact that now I do bring my venison to get ground because it just saves me so much time because I can only do 3 ounces at a time. But that's another story. Back onto fish. So when it comes to fish, man, whoever said they want to throw their fluke out, if they want to give them to me, I'll take them.
Well, they don't even want to go.
I saw that comment too. I didn't even want to respond to it because I'm not getting involved because it's too ridiculous.
I mean, there's so many different ways you can cook fluke too. And if they want more flavor on it, there's ways to cook it on the bone. I mean, if you were to look at my Facebook, I have a video showing you like basically how you can like cut the head off a fluke, take the guts out, scale it, score it, cook it under the broiler, and it's unbelievably great. And then it falls completely off the bone, put it on a bun, eat it with the onions underneath it, and you can't beat it. But my personal favorite way, like for fluke, honestly, just because it's how I grew up eating it, is fried. That's it. And shout out to the Keyport Fishery. If you ever go to that area, they make the best fried fish in the world. So shout out to them. If you ever
they
go.
get their fish fresh, I'm assuming. Is like I refuse to buy fish. Like at the grocery store, I won't buy. I haven't bought since I started fishing.
No. It doesn't taste the same. When you buy flounder, summer flounder from the grocery store, it's gross.
It definitely does not taste the same.
It's disgusting.
A lot of times, too, when you're getting that fish, who knows how long it is till it's got to you, especially at a supermarket, and it's probably been frozen already. Then it takes away your ability to freeze it again without losing, integrity of the fish. Like I said, when it comes to fishing and eating, I've been doing this my whole life. My father pretty much kept everything when I was growing up. So we ate a lot of fish. I mean, to the point where, like, when we would go home ice fishing, my father would be filleting them with the electric knife. I'd be deboning them and bringing them to my mother, and she'd be cooking them.
Yeah. All right. Let me jump back. Let me start at the beginning. Right. All right. So let's say some people watching this like to eat fish from the store, from a restaurant, whatever. They don't know what to do with their fish. Obviously, you could look up a video about filleting a fish and all that. We won't get into that. But as far as caring for the catch, right? You can't just catch the fish, throw it at the bottom in the bottom of your boat, and then a couple hours later, when you're done fishing, think that fish is gonna taste right. So if someone catches a fish, and I've heard a couple, you think it's obvious, right? You put the fish on ice and call it a day, but there's a bunch of different ways to do this. So let me just start by asking you this question. So it's different freshwater or saltwater. If you're going to bleed the fish, do you always bleed the fish? Do you never bleed the fish? Does it matter on the species, freshwater, saltwater? What's the deal with that?
I mean, it 100% matters, like in a restaurant setting. I will be honest with you. A lot of the times when I'm out saltwater fishing, I do not bleed them on a private boat. I have noticed, though, when you do bleed them correctly and put them with a saltwater slurry of like the regular saltwater and ice, they do seem like the fish gets killed. And what happens is, like, it's almost like with a deer too. Like, if you shoot a deer cleanly and kill it, the meat is going to be so much better. But if you shoot a deer like with a gut shot and it runs, the adrenaline gets into its blood, makes it tougher, makes it not, it dies not quickly, and basically it's suffering, and therefore the meat suffers. Similar with a fish. If you take a fish and just throw it in the cooler and flop it around for 3 hours, gasping for air, the muscles aren't going to taste the same. They won't be relaxed. They won't be, the tissues won't be, as soft, therefore giving you a harder tasting fish and possibly a more fishy tasting fish, because a lot of the times, like when you're filleting it, the fillet will be kind of like more compressed in. It's harder to get off. You could scrape bone. There's different things that can happen. But when it comes to bleeding, one of the main things, like any tuna you ever eat at a restaurant, is bled at sea. Skate wing has to be bled at sea. I mean, like, if not, the ammonia inside of it will go insane. With tuna, it would be so dark, people wouldn't want to have it. It wouldn't be that nice red color you get.
I had, now everyone I tuna fish with always does it. They bleed it. They take care of it. However, there's a couple of different ways I've seen it done. It all seems to work, but basically they always bleed it, get it on ice quick and all that. One time I had a trip that wasn't for tuna. It wasn't in New Jersey. It wasn't for tuna, but we caught a tuna. by bycatch, and they were in season at the time. It was blackfin tuna, and it kept it. And the guy didn't bleed it. And at the time, I was just fishing. I was catching all amberjack and stuff, and I wasn't thinking about it at all. And at the end of the day, the guy gave us fish that we caught that we were keeping, and we got the tuna in the bag, and he had never bled it. And let me tell you, it was basically like most of the fish was like bloody jello. I don't even know how else to describe it. It was pretty disgusting. It was basically inedible.
Well, they're a warm-blooded fish too, so it's like it's a little. I couldn't even imagine. Honestly, Chris, I've never seen a tuna not bled. So I couldn't even know what it looks like. It must be crazy.
Neither had I until that day. That's why I brought it up, because I think most people probably haven't seen that.
Yeah. Crazy.
I think the guy was just so busy doing everything else that he just forgot about it. But yeah, it was basically inedible. But yeah, I don't bleed a lot of my like Fluke on a private boat. A lot of times I don't bleed it, and honestly, I've had it both ways. I don't really taste the difference. I mean, the flesh you get from it is definitely whiter and cleaner, and it's not as much of a mess when you go to fillet it and stuff. But I don't know if I've noticed that much of a difference in the taste, to be honest.
Well, I can tell you this much: it definitely makes a difference if you're eating sashimi. If you're going to eat sashimi, like you have to do that the right way, because I mean, like, you'll notice like the different texture of the fish. Like I remember like the owners of Tackle World brought in last year. He brought in a Fluke from Rhode Island, right? And he had it age it, like he bled it saltwater, slurry, and then had it in a huge cooler of saltwater slurry ice, and then cut it like the 2 days later. And it was probably some of the best sashimi I've ever had, because it was aged correctly, done perfectly. I mean, like cut with a very sharp knife. That's also key, because giving yourself the sharpest, quickest cut is going to make the texture a lot better, especially sashimi style.
I actually, that's like not my thing. I don't know if Joe eats sashimi. I don't know. No.
It's all right, man. No. My dad calls it bait to this day. So
it smells like bait, and that's what it is, really. Mark, I want to ask this: between freshwater and saltwater, in my opinion, now the best fish basically in freshwater is the perch and walleye. I think they both are very good, but I think neither one of them still holds a stone to saltwater fish. Would you agree with that, or disagree that saltwater fish are far superior when it comes to eating?
I mean, to me, I would agree with you. But if you were to ask that question to like my wife or my mom or my son, they would tell you they want ice perch all the time, and not open water perch, ice perch. And I think it definitely makes a huge difference in New Jersey, especially with a lot of like the different.
That's because you've been feeding them that shit. You've been feeding them ice perch for their whole lives. That's why they're used to it.
No, dude.
Hold it. Come here. Hold it. Come here. My son, I just wanted to show him real quick. He was like, "Oh, wait, did you say my name?" It's my son. Say hi, buddy.
Hi.
What's going on?
Up,
you like ice perch, right? You like ice perch better than Fluke? All right.
It's okay. See, now you scared him. He didn't want to disagree with you.
I don't think
he was like, "Oh, I want to answer it." But anyway, I guess he got nervous.
think he said Fluke anyway.
I mean, listen. If it was my choice, I would pick Fluke all the time. And people will say they taste bland and whatever. However, I will say the best eating fish I've ever caught in New Jersey, by far for me, is triggerfish. I caught a triggerfish, and I made it with
these things keep haunting my life.
I grilled it at home, like came home, grilled it, and made it with a fresh garden tomato, and I got heirloom peaches from New Jersey, like a salsa over it. I can still taste that today. I made that like 10 years ago. And it was just unbelievable.
Well, you were talking about frying before. Mm-hmm. What makes some fish like Fluke, sea bass, they're so good for frying, but then you take a fish like a striper and it doesn't fry good like a Fluke does? What actually
the thickness? Big deal. What you would have to do a lot of times too, even if you buy striped bass, like say you were going to eat striped bass in a restaurant, even though it's not one of my favorites, if you notice, even if you get the piece of fish and it has skin on it, the skin will always be cut. because when it's called scoring it, basically when you sear the skin, it'll tighten up. So the slices within the scale area, not the scale, but the skin area, that releases the fish so it stays straight. It'll make it a lot easier. But you never want to fry super thick fish because to cook it all the way through, it'll become too tough. That's why I like the fluke and all that, sea bass.
I thought it was going to have something to do with like the oiliness of the species of fish. So you're saying if you cut a striper, like if you took a striper fillet and like let's say you got a smaller striper, like a 28-inch one, and you took like the tail end of the fillet, like that's not too thick. You could fry that and it'd taste good, you think? I'd never tried.
You'd have to skin it, take the bloodline out, obviously.
Yeah.
Cut it down, and then what you'd have to do is like cut it on a bias. But I know lots of people who make striper nuggets, especially like my upstate New York friends, like who would catch them out of the Hudson to eat them up there. God bless them. But they would make like striper nuggets and think they were like the greatest thing in the world. And I'm like, I haven't kept a striper in 15 years. So I'm like, that's great. My wife won't allow me to bring a striper home anymore because one time we had it and it was fishy, and that was it.
I personally won't. I don't like striper at all. I think it's fishy and I think it sucks. Yeah, I don't like it.
See, when someone says they don't like a fish, I know Mark, you didn't say this. You just had that one situation, but Joe doesn't like it. My response is always like, well, you didn't cook it right. Something went wrong or the fish wasn't cared for properly. Like,
yeah, but you could mask anything. You could hunt raccoons and possums, and if you keep it in a crock pot long enough, it'll be delicious.
I'm not saying to mask it. I'm saying either you didn't bleed it, you didn't cut the bloodline out, you didn't get it on ice quick enough. Maybe it was a really big ones. I mean, they just don't taste good. They're like chalky.
But you don't feel like some fish have more of that fishy like I don't like fish that taste like fish. You know what I mean?
Chicken. I mean, like what you're describing as that fishy taste, that to me, and Mark can chime in here, but that to me, that comes from one of like a mishandling of some kind, one of those multiple things, or it sat in the fridge. I mean, fish only stays fresh. What, Mark? Like I'd say like 3 to 4 days, depending on the species, like really fresh.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you talking about filleted or are you talking about whole? Like, kind of
I'm talking about like you go on a party boat, you catch a fish, they fillet it, they put it in a bag, you take it home. Even if you clean it up at home, maybe rinse it in a saltwater bath or something and dry it off real good and put it back in a clean bag. After like 3 days or so, like the oil starts coming out of it and it sits in it. Long. Right.
I wouldn't even leave it that long. You got to take, if you're going to keep the fish and you're not going to eat it relatively right away, what I like to do is this. I mean, number one, I have a vacuum seal machine. One of the best purchases I ever got with a coupon from Bed Bath & Beyond for $3. Saved my family so much money. But basically what I'll do is when I come home with Fluke after I fillet them, I take the fillets and I put them on wax paper and a paper towel underneath it with holes cut in it. Because what that does is it lets the moisture of the fish come out, and I put it uncovered, with that into the fridge for 8 to 10 hours. Then when it comes out and I cryovac it, it's basically there's no moisture in the fish and it's not sucking the moisture out, making your bag wet. And it, firms down. Once you vacuum seal it, it firms the fish up. I mean, I've eaten that stuff. My parents just ate stuff the other day that was from last Fluke season that I gave them.
So now hold on, because now you just said something real important, because I've had that problem, right? So let's say I get my fish I come back from the party boat, I got my fish, whatever. I always, they throw it in the bag. It's all, I go in there, I cut out the bones that they missed, clean it up real nice. And I make like a bowl of salt water and I rinse it off real nice in there. And then I get a bunch of paper towels and I try to dry it, but like I never can. So that process you just said, just say it one more time in detail, because I never heard of that before.
So as long as I've been a chef and whatever, I just started doing this 2 years ago. Because I noticed that when I was vacuum sealing the Fluke and stuff, the amount of water coming out, it just wasn't really. And then they wouldn't really last as long. And I was like, man, this isn't as good of a cryovac as I had when I worked in the restaurant industry. This is like a home one. I got to figure something else out. So basically what I do is I take a Pyrex pan, like something you would bake like a sheet cake or brownies in at home, you know?
Yeah.
So then I put paper towel on the bottom. And do you know what wax paper is? Like you can buy it, comes in like a sheet.
Yeah.
So I take that and I put that on top of the paper towels. The reason I don't put the fish directly onto the paper towels is because once you leave it in the fridge and it dries, the paper towel will stick to the fish. Then you got to put water on it. So you put the wax paper over, and then I take a knife and just pop holes in it like that.
Yeah.
Lay the fish on the wax paper. Then the same thing. Put another piece of wax paper over the top, and then put it in the fridge for like 8 to 10 hours. The water will drip through those holes, and you're good to go.
So you sandwich the fish between wax paper. You only need holes on the bottom one and on top of the paper towel.
Right, because you don't want the paper. The paper towel will stick to that fish. But the way I've been doing it, it just makes the fillets so much better. I mean, but obviously, fish is always best, either that day or the day after.
Yeah. See, I think Joe's saying he doesn't like striper. I feel like he's never had it really fresh or cooked the right way. I mean, I'm not talking about masking the flavor either. I'm talking
right. No, you're right.
I don't like salmon either from the Great Lakes. I
gotta agree. Too. I have to agree with you with there. But see, now that brings me back to Chris's point before. That's a complete diet situation. It's almost in a way. In one of your earlier episodes, I think it was like Yellow Dog Paddle, the Mike Herman guy. He said if you're going to eat trout out of New Jersey, you want to eat them out of Round Valley because they're eating a shrimp diet. That's why they're so pink like that. Yeah. The diet of the salmon in Lake Ontario especially, they are eating alewives. And the only reason the salmon are there is because the alewives got to be too many. So their diet is predominantly alewives, where outside of the Great Lakes, their diet is consisting of, different saltwater fish. And I don't know if you've ever seen when a bunch of alewives die and roll up on the beach, what they smell like. Imagine that digesting in you. And now you're going to eat that.
I mean, I love salmon too. My brother loves bluefish. He loves those salmon from the Salmon River. He eats all that shit. I think Chris does too.
So the salmon you catch in the river, snagging / flossing them, those definitely don't taste that great. Those I would say you kind of want to mask. I had mine actually smoked by one of the places next to where I was staying.
I will eat that. That's delicious.
That was not like you slice it off thin off of the smoked piece and you just put it on like a little like a little bland cracker with a little bit of like cream cheese or something.
Is that really fair though? Because you could smoke that hat and it would be
You gotta boil it first, Joe. If you're gonna smoke a hat, you gotta boil it first. Get the glue soft. All right. Make sure.
Well, what I was getting at though is when I've caught the salmon in the Great Lakes, trolling like the silver ones before they come into the river, I thought those tasted amazing. Those were 1,000 times better than what you buy in the store.
Okay, but still not comparable to Alaskan.
A Pacific or Alaskan. To me, they don't.
Oh, I would imagine no.
But however, I will say out of the Great Lakes, if you've ever eaten the brown trout or the steelhead, they're fantastic.
But aren't they eating the same thing?
They are, but in a different way. Like their diet is more bug predominantly based. Like even if you're out in the Great Lakes, like fishing far, like I've been out there fishing in like 200 to 300 feet of water, and you'll the guy will be like, "Oh, look over there," and you'll see the trout coming up and hitting bugs in that deep of water.
Let me tell you, I got one more argument for the alewife forage thing. The landlocked salmon that we have here in New Jersey. As long as it's not a freshly stocked one, those things are freaking delicious.
They are.
They are.
I'm pretty sure their diet is predominantly alewife too.
Well, when I cut them open, their diet seems to be predominantly black Sankos. I don't know if you've ever cut one open, but anyone I've ever cut open has rubber worms in its stomach. I've never had one.
Really?
Never cut one open that didn't.
I don't keep a ton of them, but I've never seen that in one of them.
I think right off the bat, the Atlantic salmon's the best salmon to eat. Anyway, like if you're gonna go to the supermarket and buy a nice piece of salmon, I'd probably buy Atlantic salmon.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. I mean, my favorite particular salmon is one called Copper River salmon, which comes from the Copper River in Alaska. But I mean, this is like 8 years ago when I bought some of that, and it was back then. It was like $45 a pound, so I couldn't even imagine what it costs now.
Shit, I better be good at that price. Damn,
it tasted like walnuts. I've never had anything like it in my entire life. It was unbelievable.
That's weird.
I would have to say in New Jersey, the best fish, I think, eating wise, is if you count it as New Jersey's, the mahi, the chicken mahis. I mean, eating those fried was unbelievable. You ever had them?
Very good. Very good. But I got to go with the triggerfish. I have a special place in my heart.
Joe's never caught a triggerfish. He won't stop talking about it. He begged Jerry Pastorino to let him catch one. Jerry told him to go fuck himself. And
Chuck
to this
took
day,
me too. We got skunked. Chuck failed.
Chuck tried to get us a without.
Oh, there is hope though.
Anchor.
My wife gave me my birthday surprise, and I'm going fishing with Scotty Sevens for sheepshead. So I'm going sheepshead fishing next week for my birthday, which is awesome. Shout out to my wife. And Scotty Sevens' story, like Chris said, I've been haunted by triggerfish the past month, and all of a sudden Scotty Sevens' story today is triggerfish. So I messaged him like, dude, you're catching triggerfish? He's like, yeah, it's weird. So I'm like on this collision course with a triggerfish. I know it's coming.
They're gonna disappear by the time you get there. But Mark, let me ask you this real quick, because I've heard this both ways. I used to just rinse my fish in. Well, not me, but we'd catch fish. It'd get rinsed with fresh water just to clean the blood and stuff off. And I've had people tell me like, no, you can't do that. Never do that. It ruins the fish. I mean, I never really thought it didn't make it taste bad, obviously, or I would have thought something was wrong. But it does seem to make it like firmer, almost like it got really firm almost. Mm-hmm. So is that only a saltwater fish thing, or?
Well, I mean, any kind of fish, like, from even when I'm filleting fish, like when I'm filleting fluke, when I pull it out, when I cut the first side off, it goes right back into a clean bucket of ice water, because filleting them is so much easier when they're cold. But one of the things,
fresh water or salt water, doesn't matter.
Ice, salt water. But what I was going to tell you is, our buddy Sean Mariona. One time I was fishing with him, and we were filleting fish. I'm not sure if I said it right, actually. Mariona.
Butchering it.
I've refused to ever try to pronounce his last name.
Thanks, buddy. My son brought me a coffee to join in with.
There you go.
You have an assistant?
Yeah. You should have one soon. A couple years, right?
He can't walk yet.
My assistant can't even sit up without toppling over for more than a minute. So,
all right, Mark. I want to ask Mark one last question before we ruin his whole night, and then we'll let him go.
Well, I got one more too. Then he can go.
All right, one more each. In the state of New Jersey, you do come across a lot of anomalies when you're cleaning fish. Like you said, rubber worms in the stomach. There have been a lot of other weird shit on the internet. Max has posted a walleye fillet that was just yellow. People post fish fillets with little black dots in it and say, what is this? Can I eat it? What is your advice to people that are catching and cleaning their own fish, and now they're looking at it and something don't look right?
Well, the one thing I can tell you that a number one tip would be, if you want to have zero problems, don't ever eat a reef fish over 5 pounds, because that can contain Stigmatera, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can't cook it out.
Contain what?
Stigmatera.
Stigmatera.
What is that? Bacteria?
Yes, it's a bacteria. It'll kill you.
Really?
So, yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it. But what I would also
signs in
what
the
is
fish,
it? What do you mean by a reef fish? Like a tog?
Like a tog, striper, anything like that.
So
kind
if
of.
Chris would have ate his 16-pound blackfish, he would have died.
I mean, no, he wouldn't have, but you wouldn't have known. There's just a possibility of it being there. But talking again, the craziest things like you've seen within a fish. I mean, when I was in the restaurant industry, cod, like they all have worms in them. Any piece of cod you buy has worms in them. There's different ways to get that out. You can put it under like a UV light, and they'll come to the top, and you can pick them out, or you can put them in like salt water and get them out. But I don't really eat a lot of cod.
After seeing that,
and one thing I will say though, back to the whole craziest things found. Have you guys ever filleted a fluke that's had a mantis shrimp in it?
Yes.
And it's like on the rack. It's like out of the stomach on the rack. You're like, what the hell is this? When you're filleting, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, what is that?
So I don't know. Like a mantis shrimp is the fastest, like one of the fastest moving things, like in the ocean when it does its little shot to hit things. And I guess it must just go through their stomach or they can't digest it right. And it just like goes into their body because I've seen it twice and it's pretty kind of crazy.
That is weird. All right, Mark, what's your last question for him?
So I wanted to bring this up to Mark because I either want him to tell me I'm crazy and I'm going to try to defend myself anyway. But like one of the fish that nobody will touch as far as eating it. Yeah, Joe knows where I'm going. Is the false albacore.
Really?
No, I thought you were going to bluefish, actually.
I think he might defend me on this. Yeah.
No, false albacore, man. You could like. I remember somebody last year. I forget who it was, but they took their sun fishing and they caught mixed bag. You know, false albacore, sea bass, fluke, bonito, whatever. And I remember him writing like, out of all the things to eat, his favorite was the false albacore. Also, they too should be bled, but at the same point, they're a tuna. And one of the things I've done with them when someone gave me a piece is I poached it in olive oil and made like a tuna salad, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
Poach it in olive oil, so it kind of takes it away. I mean, out of all the tuna to eat, maybe it would be the fishiest because it's be harder to bleed, being that it's small. But I don't really have a lot of experience eating them. I've only had them probably 2 or 3 times, but no, they're definitely not non-edible. I mean, Captain John, God rest his soul, rest in peace from Keyport. He told me one time, man, people complain about the fish in the ocean, but they all taste good. You know, like if you're on an island and you have nothing to eat and you catch a fish, you're going to eat it and you're going to love it.
I've said before that anything can be made edible. You may have to do a little bit more work on certain things or not to accommodate your particular palate depending on the person, but you can make anything edible and even good. And I mean, you've never heard people online talking about it. Like I would say false albacore is the most hated fish to eat or attempt to eat. Like people call, I wouldn't feed, my cat wouldn't eat it. And I'm just like, I had it a couple of times. I bled it. We put it on ice. We cut the darker meat out off of it right away, right when we filleted it. And I poached it, like you said, and that kind of like pulls some of that like oiliness out of it that people will call a fishy flavor, right? And then I did the same thing. I made like a tuna salad out of it, and it tasted a hell of a lot better than a tuna salad you'd make out of a can.
100%. I mean, I've had it. It's good, but like, as you guys may or may not know on the internet, people are just going to say dumb stuff.
We know that. Oh, yeah. But this seems to be like one of those things that everyone, like, it was like me and 2 other people, now 3 other people with you that don't think it's crazy to try to eat these things.
I have always been taught they're inedible.
Yeah, see?
And the Bonito you could keep, and the Bonita has to be just let go. It's a piece of shit. That's the way I was taught.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of these things that like everyone learned and then didn't bother to even try it, and it just like spread. But I'm telling you, like anyone that wants it, like if you like tuna salad, like if you go to a store and buy a can of tuna and like mixing it with like mayo and onions and whatever else you like to put in it, and you put that on and you like making sandwiches and tuna melts out of that, like if you like that, I'm telling you right now, keep a false albacore. Bleed it properly, get it right on some good ice slurry, whatever. When you get back, fillet it, cut the bloodline out, get the dark meat off of it, poach it, and you don't. I mean, you did it in olive oil. I think I just made a big pot of like water with white wine, some olive oil, some onions and stuff, and I just brought it to a boil and just kind of like dropped it in. I didn't do anything fancy, like You're a chef. I'm sure you did something amazing with it, but I just did it.
It's an old Italian style way of like when my grandmother used to buy tuna when I was a kid. Like I never saw anybody buy it since then, but like I buy it once in a while now to make it a nostalgia. But like Progresso makes tuna in a can that comes in olive oil instead of water.
Oh,
And
right.
so that's kind of like where she got the idea from. But yeah, man, any fish is edible if you have to, minus like a skate. But like you gotta bleed that thing because it'll taste like ammonia. Other than that, man, that's
heard people
that's
make
it.
nice get the skate wings and make like little fake scallops out of it.
It's so good. I love skate wing is one of my favorite, but it's gotta be bled. It's gotta like get that ammonia flavor out of it. If you eat a skate right out of the ocean, you're not gonna like it. That I can tell.
I would
I
imagine.
can guarantee you.
Okay, Mark, I have to thank you for coming on. Before you go, do you want to give a big plug to Tackle World? Because we do love Tackle World.
Tackle World, if you ever order anything from there, please do online. It'll keep me employed. That would be great. I'd appreciate that. And then also shout out to Jigging World. I don't know if you guys can see this shirt, but this is the original Jigging World shirt.
Yeah, Number one. I've never seen that one.
I found that's the first shirt they ever made. I found it in the bottom of a box when we were moving stuff, and they let me keep it. So I wore it to the Christmas party, and now I wore it here. But it's like a collector's item, and I also could play darts in it if I wanted
to. That's pretty cool. You should get it signed by what's his name by Mark over
Young or Mike.
Get them all to sign it.
Tackle World's very local store. It's within 10 minutes of my house, and it's a really amazing store. It's a store that my area has needed for a long time. You could get basically anything you could ever want there, from an ultralight to something to take down a bluefin tuna fish. They have everything. It's pretty unbelievable. Very dangerous store to go in if you don't want to spend a lot of money. I'll go in there for like
there.
I go in there for a pack of worms, and I leave $400 in the hole with another reel I probably don't need, but it's just great anyway. But yeah, it's an amazing store, and it's been around for a long time. Tackle shops now opening up a new one is very dangerous. Tackle World has been pretty well established and ships stuff all over the world, or just the United States, but they do a lot of shipping.
All over the world.
All over the world. So Jigging World rods are going out all over the world, which allows them to be extra successful. So it is great, especially in this area, my area, where there really are no tackle shops. So yeah, it is my favorite store.
I appreciate that, Joe. And, if anybody ever comes in, say hello, all that. Everybody that works there, that works in the front, really good knowledge, more than willing to share it with you from beginner to expert. They'll help you out.
That's the best part. I've only been in there a couple times because I don't live in that area. I'm kind of glad I don't live in that area. I'd probably be poor. But
it's terrible.
Yeah, they'd have me like working in the back to pay off my bills from all this crap that I buy from there. But what's nice about the store, right, is it's big, it's huge. They have all this stuff. It's almost like a big box store, but it's more also like a local tackle shop. And like Correct. If I go into Dick's Sporting Goods, which I haven't in years and years, but even when I would go in there, when I didn't even know that much about fishing, I knew more than the guy that was trying to talk to me. Like, you go in there, you ain't getting any information that's worth
Those guys are just on a schedule rotation. They're in fishing Thursday night, and then Friday they're in bicycles.
Right, exactly. And same thing, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, whatever. So you're getting the same service. Like, you go in there, you can't necessarily most of the time you're not getting good information. You walk into Tackle World, the guys that are working there are anglers, real anglers, that you're going to get real information.
Absolutely. I mean, shout out to Mark from Meltzer's too, who is my coworker. I mean, the guy he's forgotten more than I know about fishing equipment. It's unbelievable.
Meltzer's was the store in this area that was here for almost, I think, a little over 100 years. It's no longer around. But that was a staple of this area, and Mark was basically like the leader of that store.
Yeah.
So seeing him at Jigging World is just even better at Tackle World.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I do go in there, I do automatically look for Mark immediately, because I've been looking for him since I was 10. I've always looked for Mark. And he just knows everything that you would ever need to know. So if you do go there, ask for Mark. It's not this Mark either. It's a different
No,
Mark.
it's a different one. You won't see me unless you come and use the bathroom. I work on
you
top
never
of the bunker
see Mark.
freezer.
I always is Mark Mercer. He's in the back. He's in the
You
back.
just made it sound like your job there is to clean the bathrooms.
No, he's always in the back, just covered in boxes of rods. Like he's just covered in rods everywhere.
Oh, clearly you find some cool shit though.
I mean, I will tell you guys this much though. Like, so you said the store's big. I don't know exactly when, but I will tell you, and Joe, I think you know already, it's going to be much bigger soon. As we bought a building and we'll be transitioning at some point. I don't know when.
It's not far. Hope it's not far.
It's right up the 1 minute up the road, but coming back home for us might be a little bit of traffic there.
Oh, that's cool. That ain't bad though. 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to Tackle World and Jigging World. Tackle World's the actual store. Jigging World's the brand of rod they sell.
Correct.
Yeah, great store. Mark, thank you so much for taking your time to come back on the NJ Multifish podcast. Always do appreciate it. Chris, you gonna say goodbye or just be rude?
Well, I don't know why you always say that. You want me to cut you off to say bye before you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll cut you off next time. Mark, I appreciate you jumping on last minute. Like I said, I'm glad you had the time because we were kind of didn't have a guest and nobody wants to listen to Joe and I argue about fly fishing or whatever else.
That's where it'll go. It'll go right to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's going to go there right now if we don't end
it's
the
about
show.
To.
Guys,
it's on the brink.
Guys, Joe, I text you. I'm telling you, I got the guy you want to interview for that. You won't be disappointed.
Is he a fly guy?
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll talk after the show.
Yeah. No, guys, if I've ever meant anything in my life, I mean this.
Oh, I want him then. Get him on here.
We'll talk, all right?
All right, Mark. I will try to see you tomorrow.
See you later, man.
Later.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
8-Ball Sport Fishing out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey offers extreme flexibility at an extremely affordable rate. Captain Dom even offers trips after work. Up to 6 people, your next 6-pack charter. It's who me and Chris are now using for our charters. It's just perfect for 6 people. Captain Dom's awesome. The mate is Kim, who's also amazing. Call 8-Ball today for your next trip. Also does shark fishing trips, which are really awesome. Stripers on mini rods. All different options with Captain Don. 8-Ball Sport Fishing, Point Pleasant. Yeah, so a lot of different takes on eating fish, and I've seen Mark post pictures of some of the stuff that he cooks. I mean, I can't cook like that, and then it's all decorated, fancy and shit. Like, it looks like it's in a restaurant. Obviously, you need to be trained to do that, but
yeah, well, you'd be surprised. There's simple ways to do something similar to like what he would do. You don't have to do. Yeah. He may do like 5 extra steps to make it look like restaurant quality, but you could get the same basic like taste out of it with not as much of the work. There's simple ways to do this. People don't realize there's simple ways to cook the fish, right? Like, you make fun of me for using the imitation crab meat, making crab stuffed fluke.
I eat it. I do eat it. I won't deny that I don't eat. I've never put it in a cooked dish, but I do just eat it right out of the bag.
Dude, because it tastes good. Like it's just a bunch of different fish and stuff like processed together. I get it.
It's horrible to think about. No, I don't.
I understand that, but like it's like what I say about Pizza Hut. Like I love Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut's the best pizza on the planet. But I'm saying that on the internet right now. Pizza Hut has the best pizza and best breadsticks on the planet. I was
gonna say I don't think it's pizza. Like if I want pizza, I go to a good pizzeria. Like you live you live in the best like area for pizzerias. If I want pizza, I go to a pizzeria. If I want Pizza Hut, I go to pizza. Like Pizza Hut is delicious. I'm not comparing it to a pizzeria pizza. And it's the same thing with the imitation crab meat. Like I'm not an idiot. I don't think that it even resembles real crab meat it very much, but I like it. I think it has this like sweet flavor to it. And I'm not freaking rich. I eat so much, crab stuff Fluke. I can't buy a can of like lump crab meat every time I want to do it. And Katie and I both like the way the imitation crab meat tastes. And so I cook my Fluke by making, a stuffing with the imitation crab meat. And I do it real simple, dude. I've done it like from scratch. I've done it fancy. Yeah, it tastes a little bit better. But you don't have to do that. You go to the store, you buy the little packet of Old Bay crab cake mixture stuff. Okay. All you do, you put that in a bowl, half a cup of mayonnaise, a pound of the mashed up, shredded up imitation crab meat, mix it up. You could throw in some diced up onions or peppers if you want. You don't have to. That's it. That's the stuffing right there. Then you just have your Fluke fillets. The thinner ones are better. You season it however you want. I use a little bit of olive oil, garlic, pepper, salt, whatever, paprika. Season up the fillets. Take a little bit of that mixture you made, put it in there, roll it up, season the outside of the fish with the same stuff. Do them all on a tray, put them in the oven, 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size and how many. Oh, that's it. It's simple. It's delicious.
Yeah, can't argue it. I've never had it, but I could try it. It sounds good. Yeah. All right, well, we're going on vacation for 2 weeks. We will be off the air for 2 weeks. We'll still be posting videos and shit, though, but the podcast will be off for the next 2 weeks. I go on vacation, and then as soon as I leave that location, Chris arrives there. It's pretty weird.
We're actually, yeah, and this is all just by chance. This is not planned. You're there one day. Like when I get there, you're there for one day. We have one day overlapping this time.
Let's go fishing.
We could try.
Party boat.
No, I think I'd just rather go from shore, actually.
I say that every year, and I end up jumping on a party boat out of desperation. It's just horrible. I just want to call Tom Daffin and say, "Save me, Tom."
He'll find something for sure.
Oh, he would, too.
If he has
All right,
spot.
so we will be gone for 2 weeks, but we will be still on social media. We will be on a break from the podcast. And when we come back, we will have one more episode, and then we will be going live. Deuce plans to go live on Facebook, so you should be able to watch the podcast live on Facebook and comment right in while it's happening. So you'll be able to fight with us in real time. I hope everyone has a fun 2 weeks. Good luck to everyone who's fishing in contests. Chris, I will, I don't know if I'll see you. Am I going to see you? I don't think I am. No, I'm not going to see you.
Not before you leave. Maybe if on the day that overlaps, the day before you leave, maybe we'll do something. I don't know.
But, you're going fishing with 8 Ball Sunday, and I'm leaving to go on vacation. So yeah, all right, maybe I'll see you down there.
Yeah, hopefully
I'll see everyone else in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully I got a good report from going with 8 Ball. Fluke fishing's been hot. As long as we got there's like some storm action going on out there. Hopefully when it's all said and done, the weather's all right for us to fish Sunday, and the Fluke are still biting good, and we have a good day. And
I will try to maybe go live from Scotty Sevens if I get my first sheep's head. Maybe I'll go live and show it real quick. I'll try.
No, you're going to have to point the camera down. You're not allowed to film any of that.
Nevertheless, we will be back in 2 weeks. As always, podcast available on Spotify. You could email njmultispecies.com if you're interested in being a guest or coming on the podcast. Anyone's welcome. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. Suffer for the fish on vacation, I guess.
Suffer on vacation.